The United States has formally entered into direct military operations involving Iran by conducting coordinated airstrikes on three major nuclear-related sites: Fordow, Natanz, and Isfahan. These locations are central to Iran's uranium enrichment and nuclear development infrastructure. The announcement of the strikes was made by President Donald Trump through a statement on his social media platform, where he described the operation as highly successful and emphasized that all American aircraft had safely exited Iranian airspace. According to available information, the operation targeted Fordow, a highly fortified facility buried deep within a mountain, making it one of the most difficult sites to strike using conventional munitions. Natanz, which serves as one of Iran's primary enrichment centers, and Isfahan, where uranium conversion and fuel fabrication take place, were also struck. The level of damage across these sites appears to vary, but initial assessments indicate that several key facilities experienced significant structural impact. Though the U.S. military has not officially confirmed the precise composition of the strike force, military analysts believe that B-2 Spirit stealth bombers were involved due to their ability to evade radar detection and carry heavy bunker-busting munitions, specifically the 30,000-pound GBU-57B massive ordnance penetrator. These weapons are among the few conventional options capable of damaging or disabling hardened underground targets such as Fordow. This action follows several weeks of escalating regional conflict, during which Israeli forces had already been conducting operations aimed at disabling Iran's missile systems, command centers, and other strategic military targets. The U.S. strikes came on the ninth day of sustained hostilities, marking a shift from indirect support to full-scale involvement in the military campaign. It's important to note that these developments occurred amid warnings and deadlines issued by U.S. officials regarding the continuation of Iran's nuclear development programs. The timing of the U.S. strikes suggests that the mission had been carefully coordinated in advance, possibly involving the deployment of aircraft and support systems such as aerial refueling tankers to enable long-range operations. Strategic airbases such as Diego Garcia in the Indian Ocean and other forward operating locations may have played a role in staging or supporting the operation. While no official confirmation has been provided regarding the launch points or flight paths of the aircraft involved, the complexity of the operation indicates significant logistical planning. The potential repercussions of this military action remain uncertain. While the immediate phase of the mission appears to have concluded without the loss of U.S. personnel or aircraft, the question now centers on how Iran will respond. A large-scale retaliatory response could significantly broaden the scope of the conflict, possibly affecting U.S. bases in the Middle East, regional shipping routes, and energy markets. In particular, the strategic Strait of Hormuz, a key transit point for global oil shipments, remains a focal point of concern. Any disruption there could have wide-reaching economic consequences, especially for countries heavily reliant on energy imports. In anticipation of possible retaliation, the United States has reportedly evacuated some personnel and repositioned military assets from key installations across the region. U.S. allies in the Gulf region have also raised alert levels and are preparing for possible spillover effects. Defensive systems have been activated in several countries, and diplomatic efforts are underway to prevent further escalation. Domestically, the operation has sparked debate over the legality and long-term strategic wisdom of launching such a significant military action without formal congressional authorization. Critics have warned that the lack of a clearly defined end state or exit strategy could result in a prolonged conflict, with unpredictable humanitarian and geopolitical consequences. Supporters, however, argue that the strikes were necessary to prevent the development of nuclear capabilities that could threaten regional or global stability. International reactions have varied. Some allied nations have expressed concern about the potential for escalation, urging restraint and calling for renewed diplomatic engagement. Others have publicly supported the operation, framing it as a defensive action intended to curb a growing threat. Multinational organizations are closely monitoring the situation, and emergency meetings have been scheduled to assess security risks and humanitarian implications. As of now, Iran has not disclosed the full extent of damage nor announced specific plans for response, though statements from senior officials suggest that strategic options are under review. There is ongoing uncertainty regarding the status of Iran's command and control systems, as well as whether the U.S. has implemented additional cyber or electronic warfare operations to degrade Iranian response capabilities. While the current phase of military engagement may have concluded, the broader implications of this development are still unfolding. Energy markets, diplomatic channels, military alliances, and regional security structures are all being impacted. The world is watching closely to see whether this will remain a contained military strike or whether it signals the beginning of a broader and more complex conflict with long-term consequences.